Man, that was a crazy, crazy, crazy fight. And the fight I'm talking about is Eduard Troyanovsky versus Keita Obara, with Troyanovsky successfully defending his IBF super lightweight title and IBO super lightweight title. That'd be 140 pounds, the IBF 140-pound title, against Keita Obara. They were fighting over in Moscow, Russia. Obata, of course, from Japan, Troyanovsky from Russia, and man, just two intense rounds. Troyanovsky was hurt in the first round versus Obata. Obata managed to catch him with a good right hand, stagger him, and it was a round that Troyanovsky I thought was winning just slightly up until that point. But in the second round, he came out a little bit more aggressively, managed to catch Obata with what I think was a right hand followed by like a left, almost like a hooking uppercut, and managed to rock Obata back, get it, kind of pinned him up against the ropes, and Obata's body kind of like was curled up in a way where he wound up getting knocked through the ropes by a big right hand from Troyanovsky, and it was weird because all the guys ringside, I guess like a bunch of the reporters or whoever, were kind of holding Obata up, and then they just kind of dropped him on his head all of a sudden, like they dropped him on the back of his head, hitting the concrete and everything. But the crazy thing was Obata still got up from that. He still got up outside the ring. He walked right up, back up the steps to get inside the ring, and he kept on fighting. The thing though was he was still hurt. Obviously, I mean he just got rocked by some big punches. Not to mention dropped on the back of his fucking head as he got put down outside the ring. But he got back in the ring. Was showing guts and showing heart. And the thing is, Troyanovsky was just able to finish him basically on his feet. He was pinned up against the ropes. The ref wound up stopping it in the midst of a flurry that Troyanovsky managed to land up on the ropes. I'm actually watching the replay right now. Yeah, it was a right hand followed by a left hook that initially rocked Obata. Then Obata got knocked through the ropes by another big right hand. Yeah, the back of his head hit the concrete, with one of those guys kind of breaking his fall because he was like kind of in the way. But I mean, he showed a lot of guts to get back up in that ring though. And it's kind of a shame that the fight didn't go longer because it looked like it was heating up. Both these guys clearly had the power to hurt one another. I mean, obviously, both of them have crazy knockout ratios. Keita Obara came into the fight at 16-1-1 with 15 knockouts. Troyanovsky came into the fight at 24-0 with 21 knockouts. Obviously, now advancing to 25-0 with 22 knockouts. It's still a very impressive record in spite of the fact that he hasn't necessarily fought guys that are especially well known or big names or necessarily elite fighters outside of maybe you could argue Cesar Cuenca, the guy that was 48-0 before he managed to stop him from tying the Mayweather-Marciano record as it were. But yeah, man, just a really, really fun fight to watch. I was watching it here live. Once somebody uploads a video, which probably shouldn't be too long from now considering the fact that it was only a couple of rounds, I'll definitely link you guys to that. But I mean, just a fun fight, just a really, really good fight to watch. And this Troyanovsky guy, I mean, he showed that even in spite of getting cracked a little bit, he didn't fold. He went back in there and got his get back essentially. Went right back at him with heavy hands, with full power. Managed to get the stoppage. And I'd really like to see this guy fight against Terence Crawford next. I'd like to see some unification get done. Or if not Terence Crawford, maybe Troyanovsky versus Francis Barthélemy. Obviously Francis Barthélemy has a running relationship with the IBF, so I think that's a fight that could definitely be made, without too much trouble. And Troyanovsky is not necessarily, he's with World Boxing, so not necessarily tied up into any sort of rival situation as far as like managers and promoters and all that cliquey stuff tends to go. So I think Troyanovsky versus either Crawford, my first choice, or Barthélemy, my second choice. And just as a fan, as a pundit, what have you, on the outside looking in, I'd love to see those fights. I'd love to see, I'm trying to see the best fight the best, trying to see these unifications get done. And, especially because Crawford, he managed to just pull off a big win, a great win, impressive one, over Victor Postol to unify the belts. And now, I mean, shit, he has an opportunity to unify another one. And I'd love to see it. I'd love to see best fight the best. Top guy just fight, the second best or the first best, then fight the third best afterwards. Just run down the list and take these guys out. Of course, the only other champion outside of Crawford and Troyanovsky is Ricky Burns. who I wouldn't rate as highly as either of them. I think that Troyanovsky clearly deserves to be basically the next highest guy right after Crawford, considering he's got one of the belts. He's managed to defeat a couple of guys pretty impressively now, and I mean he's doing his thing. Hasn't really shown crazy weaknesses at the moment, but really impressive fight. I really want to see. I mean, I can't say it enough. Crawford versus Troyanovsky. And otherwise, I mean, Troyanovsky against any of the other top fighters, whether it's Rancis Barthélemy or maybe some of these other guys that are kind of floaters, like between lightweight and welterweight. You got like a Felix Diaz out there, for instance. You got a Frankie Gomez out there, for instance. Any number of these guys, I think, could be excellent fights versus this guy. So Troyanovsky with the big win, coming up with the big win, defending his IBF and IBL 140-pound belts. Solid win for him versus a murderous knockout puncher in Keita Obara. And we'll see. Well, hopefully, we get to see a little bit more of him in the English-speaking world, like maybe possibly on HBO, Showtime, PBC, what have you. So that's gonna be it for this one, guys. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.